If a label spends $3.5 million, now let me tell you what this $3.5 million is going to. Yo, take $500,000, throw it at the blogs. Take $1 million, actually not even, maybe, but let's say take $1 million and let's do like activations and also billboards. So splatter everywhere with billboards. Let's now put, you know what I mean? See how I go with I don't want to give no clues I'm talking about. Let's say, I don't know, more than billboard. We just want to put this fucking album everywhere. You know what I mean? Everywhere. So like maybe more than billboards. I don't know. Maybe I can't think of it. Let's just say they're putting the album cover everywhere, right? They're gonna come to like, you know what I mean, nice little. How much did I say for the blogs? I said $500,000. For that $1 million campaign. You gotta remember, you're going to want to do it for a couple of weeks. You want to stay there. That is drilled in people's minds. Okay, bet. So what we finna do now, we about to go to, we got to get radio. Come on, man. You got to have the niggas going to work playing the hottest hits, right? All right, cool. So radio ain't free. You have to pay that shit too. $1.5 million, okay? Yo, Grand Wizard, if you don't get the fuck out of my comment section, because somebody mute Grand Wizard. He's like, what is he talking about? All right? Anyway. Let's say $1 million. Yes, I know. It's crazy to y'all. $1.5 million for radio. Remember, this is, if you got $3.5 million in budget, $1.5 million gotta go to radio. Let's run major promo on the biggest stations on at least 2 or 3 songs. Let's figure out the biggest songs, and you know what I mean. And by the way, you got to realize. Let me tell you something as well. While promoting an album, it don't start for the first week. Usually starts 2 months out. Remember that. So the song that was dropped 2 months out, you trying to pay for that to get on the radio, this and third. All right, cool. So what we at with it? We had $1.5 million, then we had $1 million, then we had another half. So $1.5 million, that's 2, and then we pretty $1.5 million. We're about like at 3. Now, there's a lot of miscellaneous shit. You know what I mean? Street teams. You know what I mean? We might have to do like a couple promo concerts. Basically concerts where we're just going to act like shit is hot, but it's not. So we're going to eat the cost of the whole concert. But the mere fact that we could show that there's big crowds, like, looks good. We're going to do a few of those. You know, we got to travel around. We got to start doing interviews. We got to do freestyles. This is if that rapper is a freestyle rapper. I don't know if there are. Shit, they got to do promotional stuff. You got to move around. You got to, you know, do things to whatever. So pretty much what I'm saying is, let's just say $3 million. By the way, if you're watching this later, it'd be like you got your calculator out, like super, like first of all, I'm not talking about any artist in particular. Second of all, I'm literally just like spitballing numbers, but it's in the ballpark because I know the numbers of, like, I know DJ Khaled had a $5 million fucking promo. This is why he was mad at who he lost to. He lost to somebody. He was tight as fuck. Oh, it was Tyler, the Creator? That nigga had a $5 million promotion budget. Of course, I'd be tight too. Y'all spend $5 million and I still ain't number one? This nigga is? Fuck that nigga, man. Of course. Bro, that's just what it is. I'm sorry. So, again, I ain't talking about no artist, but I know when I see stuff, y'all know me. I'm the ultimate pocket watcher. So when I see something, y'all look at it and be like, pretty lights. I'm like, what the fuck? How's that there? I take my calculator. I'm like, yeah, nigga. I know how much everything costs. Nothing is free in this world. So again, I'm only saying that, right? So $3.5 million. Let's say that artist came out and sold 50,000 first week. Wow, 50 fucking thousand. Now 50,000. Again, we're oversimplifying this whole thing. 50,000 in royalties and revenue. An album usually costs like $10. 50,000 is $500,000. Usually, I'm telling you this is as a fact. What an album gains the first week is around 65 to 70%. These are numbers I know for a fact. when y'all be like, yo, why you everybody care about first week? Because hip hop music for the most part don't last. They debut big, the second week decent, and then they disappear. That's just what it is. It's fast food music that dominates the whole fucking thing. Somebody asked me, y'all gonna see it on Drewski's episode tomorrow with Drake. Like, why you keep saying it's Drake's like 7th week? You know why? Because I don't only want to report about the first week. I want to report about the 7th week too. But you know why I don't report about the 7th week? Because the album has disappeared from the charts. So I only talk, niggas think I only care about the first week. I care about every week. But for most of these niggas, after the first week, you don't see their shit again. You're like, what the fuck happened? They dropped a 1-week album. Back to the drawing board. So when somebody's lasted on the week and about to be number 1 in the 8th week, I'm sorry. Like Drewski he was like, yo, Ak. He's like, I don't know if you dissing Drake when you mentioning that his 7th week is competing with somebody. I'm like, nigga, if you think that's a diss, you just don't know music. That's a compliment. His 7th fucking week is competing with somebody's first. I'm not dissing him. Anyway, let me put in perspective. So I'm telling you, the first week, a lot of times, ends up being about 60 to 70%. But you know what? We're going to lowball it. Let's not even say 50%. We're not even going to say 60. We're not even going to say 50. Let's say it's going to be like 40%, right? And this is what the album is going to do in, let's just say like, let's say a year. Let's say 40%. Matter of fact, you know what? We're so liberal, we're actually going to say 30%. By the way, I know an artist, and by the way, like, I don't want, just to clarify, this example just came to mind. This is not about Meek Mill, nothing like that. No, it's not. Because I've talked to mad artists, and you know, I'm a pocket watcher, bro. I always be asking, like, damn, what's the butt? I went to LA one time, and I see how some of these niggas live. I'm like, damn. Yo, what the budget the label gave you? And they always, this is where they tell me everything I need to know. Oh, yeah, we have a blah, 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 blah budget to market and promote the album. And we had this to make it. Instantly, I'm doing the math. I'm like, okay, so you need this to succeed. Tell me all I need to know. Okay, so, especially with this example, because by the way, there's mad artists like, and we are going to get into a little bit of Meek Mill, right? And it's not attacking him or nothing, but he had said he hasn't gotten paid from the label. That's not a Meek Mill thing. The majority of these niggas don't get paid from the label. The label usually gives you more than what they think you're going to do because they own your rights for eternity. So they know at some point, not in a year, not in 2 years, not in 3 years, not in 4 years. Sometimes they might have to drop you. You get with somebody else. They still own your rights. You get hot with somebody else's budget. Then they actually make their money back. It is what it is. They own it for eternity. The label is not. You see, only an artist plays the 2 to 3 year game. A label's playing the lifetime game. And then the label's also playing the game of, if you want your shit back, you got to buy it back. Do you understand what I mean? So put it like this. You ever wonder why your bank ain't pressed? Well, I don't know if some of y'all old enough to take loans. Your bank ain't pressed that you ain't paying back immediately. Nigga, they don't care about, like, think about a mortgage. Your mortgage, say you're buying a house for $300,000. They give you $300,000. Let's say you're going to put down $10,000 down. Your credit's good. They give you $290,000 because that's the cost for the home. They tell you you have 30 years to pay that back. Now, let me put this in perspective. If a motherfucking bank could wait 30 years to get back, by the way, you might think you're paying them back, but you're paying them actually 1.5. So you're actually paying them around $500,000 probably. So you borrow $300,000, you're gonna pay them $500,000, and you're gonna do it in 30 years. They have the patience. For artists, if they felt like they were hot last year and they don't get paid this year, they're mad. Yo, why am I not getting paid? The label will keep funding you while you're losing their money. You know why? They own all your shit. They own you. You don't own your masters. They own it. All them songs you keep performing all over, all the time. They own it. So, again, the majority of artists, and I'll even bring it back to Tyga. Tyga's independent now, by the way. So who's Tyga? People were shocked when Tyga went on The Breakfast Club, and people thought it was an indictment of Birdman, but it's not only that. It's not only Birdman. Tyga was like, yo, I've never gotten a royalty check from Cash Money. People are like, Birdman's robbing you. No. Birdman just gave that nigga a big enough loan that while he was there, he looked super rich, but Birdman knew the money coming in was not enough to pay off the money that he lent out. So, y'all all do know how a record label, a record deal works, right? Do I need to explain this again? If you want me to explain it in 5 minutes, I will. So I could tell you how your favorite rapper gets paid. Just say yes, tell us, or no, we get it. It's really basic business. Yo, somebody just say, act like it's basic business. Well, it's basic business for some people. Okay. Okay. So let me tell you this. And you can ask anybody. Ask me if I'm wrong. A label signs you, right? It's a very interesting process. First of all, let me just tell you multiple finesses that, like people find out later on. So the label signs you. You're supposed to get a lawyer. You get a lawyer. This and third. By the way, your lawyer usually tells you that you're not paying them. The label pays them. So the label is going to pay your lawyer. So we're making up fictional numbers. You signed for $1 million. Your label, no. Let's go with your lawyer. Let's say if your lawyer helped negotiate this thing, and he was acting at all in a managerial capacity, and he wasn't a hourly person, he wants a percentage. Let me explain. So you're getting signed for $1 million. That's the number they keep saying. You signed for $1 million. Your lawyer, depending on what type of lawyer it is, if it's your regular lawyer for other stuff beyond music, maybe he just wants 5%. If he's negotiating, if he's doing extra shit, he might want 10. If the lawyer found a deal, if he was shopping on me, I don't know. If you felt he was acting like your manager, a manager usually gets 20. But actually, let's throw the manager in there too. Okay, you have a manager and a lawyer. So let's say, okay, so your manager wants 5%. That's pretty much standard. Okay? By the way, for anybody who's ever going to get in the industry, save this clip. Everything I'm telling you in terms of standard shit, you should take and apply. If somebody tell you more, tell him fuck you, okay? Your lawyer, if he's doing just lawyer work, he's not negotiating, he's not doing other shit, he's not pitching you, those are different people's jobs. If he's only getting legal shit together, you could either pay him by hour or you could pay him by percent. By hour, he wants to usually get paid monthly, but you could probably defer it until you get whatever check. It's probably, and by the way, Russ has said all this shit, I'm saying. I've just been in the industry and I've seen that nigga right. You could either say, hey, cool, the best thing is to pay him hourly, but honestly, a lot of times, lawyers know how to negotiate better than your manager. If you came from the hood and your homie is your manager, your homie has no fucking idea how to negotiate a record deal with a big-time record label. Trust me. Okay? It's way beyond how many projects, how much are you going to give me per project, what's the fucking standard royalty rate. No, it's way beyond that. This is some really complex shit. Again, you're basically signing in blood anytime you sign a contract. So your lawyer sometimes makes up for it. Your lawyer usually would tell you that the time he's putting in on it is probably, just give me 5%. I'll take it out of the money. As a matter of fact, you don't even have to pay me. They'll pay me. Okay. So I said all that to say, you signed for $1 million. You're not paying your lawyer hourly. You're paying your lawyer 5%. Here's the beauty of it. The 5% you pay, your lawyer is going to tell their lawyer, hey, since you guys won't and sign my client and I'm dealing with the deal, you have to pay his lawyer fee. He doesn't have to pay me. So whatever you would have had to pay him, the label's paying him. So now you're thinking like, this is amazing. Fucking great. The label's paying my lawyer and I'm going to get my milli. Okay. 5%, by the way, you're good right now. 5% of $1 million is $1,050,000. Is it? Yeah. $1,050,000. Technically, you're now in the hole for $1,050,000. This is what the label does. Any fees incurred by the label is recoupable. They don't jump to you and be like, oh, we're gonna, so you're gonna get your million still, right? You're getting your million, so you're like, all right, what the fuck I care about them paying the lawyer? They're tagging on what they pay the lawyer to your debt. So now you're only getting $1 million, but you're in the hole for $1,050,000 because of the lawyer. Bet. Let's say you had a manager with the lawyer, right? Bet. A manager likes to get 20%. By the way, we're like jumping over so many processes. Usually most niggas sign for like 50, not even 50, between 5 to 50,000 to a street nigga. That's where you get this where you get these little production companies and third. But let's say magically your first fucking deal is with Atlantic, not through like Generation Now like Uzi signed to, not through MMG, which Meek Mill signed to. There's always Drake is signed to like 2 other labels before YMCMB. I don't know if y'all noticed. Let's just assume you are lucky enough you walk straight into the big label. By the way, just to let y'all know, now Drake has reworked his contract. He's signed directly to UMG. From what I heard, there's some passive participation on the behalf of Cash Money, but it's allegedly, supposedly through UMG side. Drake shit is straight. But at first, there was like 5 niggas eating off him. I'm just trying to tell you the truth. Okay? Give y'all the math. So bet. Remember, you're down the whole $1,050,000. And remember, let's say you don't have no street nigga who's in between, who got you hot, who was spending his street money, which is pretty much like money laundering. Like street niggas love getting into music because they take their drug money and they just like finance studio time. And when that artists get like lit, they act like they're getting out of the drug game and they're like, oh, my money's clean now. It happens. I'm sorry. I'm not snitching on nobody. I mentioned nobody's name. Okay. So that's why you say all street niggas. They love music. They're like, oh my God. Like some of these niggas you be like, yo, if you got all this money, why the fuck you going to music? Then you realize, duh, money laundering. Anyway, let's keep it going. So you get the $1 million. Remember, you owe your label $1,050,000. You got to pay a couple people. First, you got to pay, and I'm gonna keep it very simple. You got to pay your manager. So you're paying him 20%. So of the $1 million, you're giving him $200,000. So now you have $800,000. You owe your label $1,050,000. Okay, cool. Now, I don't even want to get into how, like, you probably going to spend that, what's taxes. I don't even get into that, right? Like, really, taxes going to cut that in half, blah, 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 blah. You got to give your mama some shit. You're going to get yourself right, get you a chain, blah. I ain't even going to do that. You got that amount. But let's just think about the rest of it. I just want to tell you what the label is doing, right? So you owe the label $1,050,000. Then the label says, yo, hey, we're just so glad you signed. Here's the thing. Let me add another thing. Also, they gave you a $250,000 signing bonus, which is separate. It says as soon as you sign a deal, you get $250,000, which it's called a signing bonus, like free money, right? Soon as it's an incentive, like it's in most things. As soon as you sign the deal, this money is yours. So you still get the $1 million, but there's a $250,000 signing bonus, right? Now you're not thinking about what you owe, you're thinking about what you're getting. So you get the $800,000 because your manager took whatever. Then the signing bonus comes in, right? Usually that comes in with, that's get accounted with the lawyer fees. You get that money, you probably still got to break it down with your lawyer, right? So let's say like at the end, you kind of still have $1 million, but now you owe the fucking label like about 1.3, 1.4. Okay, that's just what it is, right? They then say, hey, well, you got to make a project, right? Hopefully I got that part. Like, that part is very interesting. They always give you a signing bonus. Like, hey, once you sign the deal, you get some free money. But it's not free because they tag it onto your debt. But it seems like free money, right? So now they're like, yo, we want you to make this album. Let's do this. And by the way, the funny part about it, and then when you sign, it usually has, okay, after the signing bonus, it gives you half of what you're going to get in an advance. It's so hard to explain it. I'm gonna confuse y'all. Okay. Fuck. Okay. Let me run it back. Fuck. So if it was $1 million, the label doesn't give you $1 million. At least, like, if it was $1 million for like the first project, they don't give you $1 million. They're gonna give you 500,000. They're gonna give you half. You get half. Usually when they're picking up an option, and then half when you turn the album in. That's just how it goes, right? So when you're signing, they usually give you, quote unquote, a signing bonus to make up for the half that you're not getting at the moment. So we're going to just still call it, let's say give you a signing bonus of $500,000. And then the rest of the shit was $1 million when you turn the, half up front, then when you turn the album in, another half, right? I know some of y'all probably like, yo, I'm confusing now. I know. So you still got $1 million, right? But in reality, you're probably in the hole, right? So that's $1 million. Then the $500,000 signing bonus, that's 1.5. Then your lawyer probably charged like, I don't know at this point, that nigga $250,000. Or let's just say he was cheap, or like he was really good to you, $100,000. So 1.6. Remember, you paid out 20% to your lawyer, to your manager, right? I'm just talking about debt you're in. And if you're just tuning in at this point, I'm showing you why rappers never get paid. So when you hear these rappers talking about all this money, if they not touring like a motherfucker, like for example, that's why that nigga The Baby, I love him, but when he got canceled for them shows, trust me, that nigga was down to me with anybody. Because that money is what you're getting paid from. The myth, I don't know if y'all think that record labels pay artists every month. They don't. Okay? Now, this is such a horrible story. Because I feel like if you're not really paying attention, you're going to lose it. So let's say you're 1.6 in a hole. The label says you got to make an album. We got $1 million budget for you to make it, right? That $1 million is going to go to studio time. I'm simplifying shit. So your recording budget to pay for features, to pay for samples, to pay for clearances, let's say it's $1 million, right? So now you're $2.6 million in the fucking hole. You haven't made these motherfuckers a dime. This is why when rappers say, my label not paying me, nigga, you know how much they spent on you? So cool. They spent that amount of money for you to make the project. But they also said that they were going to guarantee you $500,000, or let's say $750,000. Let's just say $500,000, right? So you're 2.5 in the hole. Let's just say $500,000 for promotion to get it out. Now let me tell you what a label does. And I promise you this is the case. If you see a artist on Rap Caviar, minus $100,000 from their budget. Not that Rap Caviar is charging, but what happens, just like when you see a song on radio, there is a pitching and promotion team. When people are putting money to radio, they'll say, hey, we need this song. It's a big song. Put it to radio. It'll be like a $250,000 earmarked for that one song to a radio promo team, or maybe $500,000. What the radio promo team does with that money is what they do. It's kind of wink wink type of shit, but it's one of those things. I'm going to take this $500,000. I'm going to catch the DJs in the strip clubs that I know take money. Hey, here's your $3,000. Play my man's song on the radio. Here's this. Play this on the radio. For the bigger shit that you can't really do that because it's quote unquote illegal, you then you be like, yo, hey, I'm going to buy some ads. Wink, wink. If you play this song, I'm going to give the station money if you play this song, right? $50,000, $100,000 to the bigger stations. This is how it works. I'm telling you how it goes. You heard me? So you now pay these people. You pay another team to pitch the playlist. You pay another team to it's what I'm basically trying to tell you. This, you pay a separate fee for all this shit. Okay? So basically now, before you sell a fucking record, you're like 3 to 4 million in the hole. Your album comes out and does 50 fucking thousand copies. 50,000, we're simplifying everything, times 10 is 500,000. I told you, usually a lot of people's first week. I'm simplifying again. It's usually kind of sometimes around half. We're saying it's 30%. Let's say, so 50,000 is 500,000. Let's multiply that over a year. You're going to get the 100% of it. So if that's 30%, let's times it by 3. 500,000 times 3, that's 1.5. But we're even going to just be generous, right? Let's just call it motherfucking 2 million. In a year's time, you still owe the fucking label $1.5 million. Now, keep in mind, you're doing all the festivals. Remember, they probably got you a lit song out of that, too. Y'all know any artists who got a really lit song but sold 50,000? Y'all got to name them. Think about it. Y'all know any artists who got a really lit song? Because sometimes they might be spending some of that on one song. They might spend $1 million on promoting one song. Somebody just came out recently, they admitted, they say take $1 million to break one song. Which I think it take to get a whole album lit. So now, your album in a year has gained the label 1.5 million, but we're being nice. We're saying 2 million. And you're down 3.5 million. Say 3 years from now. Because, by the way, you're on to your second project now, right? Like, most of these niggas, they want to drop a project per year. They don't want to keep working the same project for 3 years, do they? No, every year it's a new project, right? Because if they were the same project for a year, you're going to be like, what the fuck, right? So they're asking for their next advance. Yo, give me the next advance. You know what the next advance is? 1.5 million. That's going to get split up again. They're getting more in debt. They ain't even make up the first one. Now, here's the thing. Let me tell you what always fucks up rappers. They're 1.5 million in debt from their first album. They think it's lit. Yo, bitches just screaming my name. Niggas is saying I'm lit. Yo, you saw when I came out rolling loud? Yo, you gotta see, I'm getting $500,000 every fucking time I post on the gram. What? I'm making money. The label's looking at you like, nigga, we spent damn near $4 fucking million on you. You better be fucking getting your likes up. You know, rappers are stupid. They be like, yo, my likes is lit. You ever see my lives? Y'all be having like 50,000 people in there. If only 50,000 people could give us our fucking money back after we just fucking invested in you. You know what I mean? That's what the label's thinking. So now, you down from the first album. You go into the second. They give you even more money. Because that's how every contract works. You get some money here. You get more money later. They give you more money. And I don't know. Let's say like you on the come up. So you ain't sell 50 this time. You know how much you sold? 80. Sold 80. And by the way, just to let y'all know, the budget for the next album usually revolves around what the budget is for the last, unless it's already like dictated in the contracts. But even if it's dictated in contracts, for example, like I'll say like Rod Wave. Rod Wave, with the success, I know for a fact, and by the way, I never talked to the label, nothing like that, but I know. They saw his shit blow up so fast, I guarantee they upped his budget. You get me? Because they weren't expecting that. So I'm like, oh, shit. Let's up his budget. Like, let's give him more that he could do more shit. Do you understand what I mean? Right? Okay. So the point what I'm trying to say is that for some of these artists, like over the span of like 2 to 3 projects, they owe the label fucking millions of dollars. But you see with an artist, they only could think about the last hot song they had. So when they finally get one, And the label is finally recouping. You know what they start saying? Yo, my label jerking me. Yo, the label looking at him like, nigga, we lost fucking $5 million promoting your bitch ass. Like, what the fuck? Let us eat. We gotta eat before you eat. You not about to sit. By the way, they never got paid all these years, but they knew they weren't like, they knew they were over budget all the time. The first time they get some really lit shit, they're like, yo, where my money at? The label's looking like, nigga, we trying to recoup. Anytime you see any artist say, we ain't get paid, the label, trust me, the labels will never talk. The labels is saying, nigga, do you know how much we spent? You ain't get no money? If you ain't get no money, it's because, trust me, yo, in a great situation, the label is splitting. The label is not going to just not pay artists. The label wants to pay artists. But the label, and this happens a lot. I remember Waka Flocka called out his label. Bruh, let me tell you this. The money, so if you didn't recoup the first album, you're going to your second album, they gave you more money. There's interest being put on that money. There's interest. So you were 1.5 in a hole. 2 to 3 years later, nigga, that's $2 million. Now you're $2 million in the hole. That money turned into 2. Then your second album, maybe you barely broke even. Okay, so that $2 million now is turned to 2.5 for your third album. That's how it works. Like, bruh, it's music business. If you don't want to think about what you're losing your label, don't take a loan. PNB Rock had some complaints about it. By the way, I'm not blaming these artists. I love PNB Rock. PNB Rock is my guy. You understand me? I'm just giving you an explanation of how contracts usually go. If a label did not pay what they owe an artist, there's ways to handle it. Number one, an audit. Now, an audit is usually expensive and sometimes could be like, unless you know they're really finessing you and doing some shit wrong, you pay a lawyer, they'll audit your label that says, show us every receipt of what you spent, what you gained, and let's total it up to see what you probably owe our guy. And let's get the accurate amount. And we're going to, well, the audit usually is like some like independent arbiter is like, looking at that type of shit, right? That it could be fair, but let's do it. Most artists don't audit their label. You know why? Nigga, they know they've been running up that check with the label. Think about some of these artists. Think about all these artists. And by the way, I just want to tell y'all, this is not about Meek. I'm talking about the music business. So please don't try to title this. Don't do no weird shit. I ain't got time for that. I'm telling you. As a matter of fact, I'll even start out with a nigga I fuck with. 6ix9ine at one point, his label was paying $150,000 a month for security. Nigga, that's on your bill, bro. Sorry, that's on your bill. It's on your bill from now on. Other artists, they only want to fly private, but they don't want to pay for it. They want their label to pay for it. I bet, cool. It's $60,000 every time you get on that fucking jet. On your bill every time. So you on Instagram like, yo, we're back-to-back jets. Yo, me and Future, we're back-to-back jets. Okay, cute. $60,000 every single time you do that. Every single time, nigga. The label will handle it. All right, cool. We'll book a jet for you. It's cool. Okay, just be on the tarmac at this time. And where you at? Okay, cool. Just do it. $60,000, nigga. And if you're recoup by the end of the year, that should turn to 85. What up? It's business. Nobody likes the business part of music. The business part of music, like people just start scratching their neck. Bro, that's what it is. You in beef. They got to hire all type of fucking security for you. You on tour. You like bringing 50 niggas with you. All right, cool. The label will book everything. Nigga, I could tell you this right now. And by the way, like, we never seen 6ix9ine complain about it. So, I'm using 6ix9ine just because I don't want y'all to feel like I'm attacking other rappers. And 6ix9ine's my homie, so, because every time I talk about other rappers, like, y'all niggas just can't be like, oh, I can exposing this. 6ix9ine never, you don't complain about his label, nothing like that. Nigga, when we went to DR, nigga, his label paid for that bitch. Nigga, we had maids, all type of shit. Nigga, anything we said, they were like, okay. You know why? The label credit card was on that bitch. They don't give a fuck. Nigga, I ain't gonna lie to you. So one of the times, so after you like order shit, that you have to sign for it. I swear, they brought a bill back. Like remember, like even see like, yo, just get whatever. Like, I don't care. Like, yo, he's chilling. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's mad people around. It's like, bro, they brought the shit back. I seen like $5,000. Nigga, all we ordered was like liquor, this. We ordered mad food, this and $5,000. Nigga, I ain't gonna lie. And it was like, oh, this is the people at like the little resort. They said we just need like this fucking signature. We had a big ass villa. I said, nigga, go wake 6ix9ine up, man. Let that nigga like. He got it. I said, I don't want to put my signature on this bitch. And then Nick asked me for the money. Now he signed it. He ain't paid. You know who paid it? The label. Now, granted, and by the way, before y'all think anything, 6ix9ine is, and I don't want to make this about 6ix9ine, but anytime I use another rapper, I get so fucking personal, so I only got to use a nigga who's my mans. You know what I mean? I could use this for anybody's, I could use this for any rapper, but if I use their name, it's going to be like, Ak is dissing. But if it's my mans, I know he'll understand. But I can use it for any rapper. Fortunately for 6ix9ine, he don't spend marketing budget. So I know when y'all be like, oh shit, security this and third, his label wasn't spending shit to promote him. At that time, 6ix9ine was so big, they should be spending millions to promote him. So if they're like, wait, we don't have to promote him and the only thing we have to pay for is like security. 6ix9ine shot a music video for like $5,000. Like one of the, I think it might have been Kiki. Like $5,000 fucking dollars. You feel what I'm saying? Like that video should have been like a motherfucking like 100,000 plus type effort. They're saving money left and right. So when the DR thing, it was he was doing the Gotti video. Cole Bennett was on it too. His label was like, go ahead. What the fuck? We ain't spend no fucking money. Just like if YoungBoy right now told him like, nigga, Atlantic was in court with YoungBoy. They're like, Your Honor, we're going to build a $2 million studio in his crib. As I said, the house ain't cost $2 million, man. You know why? YoungBoy don't spend no fucking money. They're in the, bruh, they eating good over there. Atlantic, when they hear YoungBoy, they be like, yo, we do anything to get that nigga out. I'm telling you, you ask Atlantic, be like, yo, you gotta sacrifice and lock up 5 other niggas on your roster. They probably be like, pick them all. We don't give a fuck. As long as they ain't like Roddy Ricch, Kodak, and a couple other niggas, get rid of them other niggas, man. What the fuck? That's what I'm saying. And by the way, I'm using these as an examples, okay? A lot of people just don't understand that part of it. There is a part of the music industry we have to understand. This is business. These niggas ain't here to like play games. I went to a couple labels over, like, you know, I've visited mad labels over the years. Every time I go there, yo, look at this new building we got. I don't know if any of y'all are old enough to gamble. There's always a saying, right? And the saying is this. They're like, yo, if you think when you win money at a casino, like, that's profitable, always look at the casino you walk into. You see the biggest buildings, the most elaborate setup. They're not losing money and having that setup. They're making money somehow. You know what I mean? It's like, go to any label. The labels, labels are always doing the most. You go to Atlantic, they might have last I heard, I think they got a basketball court in Atlantic. Like, just in the office, like, it's a basketball court there. Got like five studios. Like, they so lit, they in the middle of New York, you could just go smoke weed on the balcony. Like, go ahead, fuck it. And they're making too much money. That's what I'm trying. I'm only trying to tell y'all that the labels ain't gonna lose money. So when y'all hear artists, I ain't getting paid. Sorry, like, the hell? What you think, the label finna take a loss to get you lit? They gave you a fucking advance. You're doing what you want, but it's time for them to recoup now. It is what it is. What was I talking about? Anyway, I will address directly the I see Meek Mill tweet about